Welcome to our next class. In last class, you learned about the uses of water and local sources of water. And in today's class, before going to start our class, you can do one small activity. Collect the water from different sources. Near your home, from the tap, you collect some sample of water, and from a puddle on the road, after raining, some pits will be. So from the puddle, if possible, collect some water. And sometimes from the tap you will get dirty water which is brown in color. Such type of water, if possible, collect. And while collecting the puddle water, compulsory wear the gloves and collect the water in a test tube. This is the activity you are supposed to do before going to this lesson. When you do the activity, you will understand the lesson clearly. So, we'll see the keywords which are in this block 16. First one is pollutant. 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 Second one is chemicals. Chemicals. Waste. Waste. Water. Water. Waste water. Solvent. Solvent. Learn these words and spellings perfectly, learn children. While writing the worksheets, it will be useful for you. After collecting the different samples from different sources, now you compare these water samples. Make a tabular column in your notebook, and first one write the serial number, second one source of water, and third one smell and the color of that water. First one is, for example, well water you have taken. Write the number 1, serial number 1, and source is well and the color of that water. Maximum, the clear water will not have any color and also no smell of clear water. Okay, but taste will be. And other than the clear water, the remaining all the samples, the water from a municipal tap, the puddle, the river if possible, and compare the color of that water and is it giving any smell, you find out. Okay, write all your observations in a tabular column. In the same way, the same experiment is also given in your S1 block 16. Same way you write the sample of water, the color of the water and also smell of the water. So by doing this experiment you can conclude that the water from different sources, from different regions will have different colors and different taste. Why? What's the reason? Why? Because the pollutants which are present in this water. The pollutant means the dust and the chemicals which are mixing in the water known as pollutants. So due to the pollutants, the color of the water is changing. Here you can see the water which is coming from the tap is brown in color, and from the other tap you can see the clear water. And here also while collecting surrounding the water, it's appearing like green in color. So it is like little greenish water. This is little brown water. So these all the variations are coming based on their pollutants. How actually the water is getting polluted? When the pollutants are mixing in the water, pollutants are nothing but the dirt, the chemicals and the waste materials. When it mix, those all known as pollutants. So when pollutants mix in the water, that water is known as polluted water. Okay, that's what you are learning in today's class about dirty water, how the water is becoming dirty. Actually, when you see the river, the birth of the rivers always will take place on high mountains. When the snow gets melted, that they form into like rivers. When the rivers are taking birth, the water appears like a sparkle white in color, pure white in color, and the water is very clear, clean water from where the rivers are arising. So that place we are getting very clean water. When these rivers flow down and when it is flowing on the land and when it is crossing uh, through the different cities, then the water is getting polluted. For example, if you take River Yamuna took birth on mountains. When it is falling down, you can see the clear, sparkling water. And when River Yamuna moved, moved through the very large cities like Agra, Delhi, such cities it moves through. So when it is going through these cities, the river Yamuna is supplying water for many plants, people and animals. It's giving water for all the living organisms. At the same time, it's getting polluted. Who are polluting? What's the reason for this water pollution? The reason is none other than the human beings. We are polluting the water. You can see river Yamuna flows through the Agra, Delhi, such big cities, and at Allahabad it mixes with the river Ganga. So this is Allahabad place. How the people feel that it's a mixing of three different rivers and they feel that it's a holy place and many people are gathering in these holy areas and they are taking bath in that holy rivers and they are making the water polluted. They are washing their clothes inside, they are taking bath, they are using the detergents. Due to all this the water is getting polluted. And one more thing, the factories. Factories, outlets, factories will release the wastewater. Some factories are releasing the wastewater into the rivers. Due to this wastewater, the water is getting polluted. And also picnickers, some people will go for the picnic near the river sources, sea sources. They'll eat all the snacks and they will litter the water surroundings. They'll throw the packets after eating wherever they want. And our rituals, traditionals, after playing the Ganesh, immersion of Ganesh idols and all the flowers and many traditional festivals are also people are littering the surroundings and littering the water and making the water causing for water pollution. You can find these pictures how the water is getting polluted. So is it good for our health to drink this type of water? Definitely not. We may get vomitings when we drink such type of water and also it causes for diarrhea. So it's our duty to keep our water sources clean and neat. It's in our hands to keep our water fresh for future generations, clean for future generations. So in today's class, you learned about how the water is getting polluted and you also observed different samples of water and what's the reason for pollution of water you learned and how the river Ganga and Yamuna are getting polluted you learned and government is taking a plan of Ganga action plan and to clean the Ganga water, Yamuna action plan to clean the Yamuna water. So that situations should not occur in future. As small children, you are learning all these lessons and you should implement this all in your day-to-day life. So you learned the how the water is getting polluted and what we should do to avoid the water pollution also you learned very well children. And now shall we see the question answers which are given in the worksheet. All of you open volume book, page 40, volume 2, block 16, page 40. Yes, here the experiment, what I told you, the activity, the same activity, your result note down here. Collect some water from puddle and see the smell of that, color of that water, and what is in that water. Sometimes due to mud also the water gets polluted, due to dry leaves water gets polluted, due to the chemicals from factories, and sometimes farmers also use some pesticides to kill their pest in their field, so that water again will lead into the rivers. So due to that pesticides also water is getting polluted. Okay, like that you collect from nearby sources 3-4 different samples of water and compare them. And next question, he has given two samples for you, sample A and sample B, and he is asking you which water sample is not clean. What could have made it dirty? So if you see the picture, you will understand sample A is not clean due to mud particles. That you are supposed to write as second answer. And the last one is water from which source is safe to drink? Which source of water is safe for drinking? This you already learnt in before block 15. The river water after treatment, it's so good for drinking. And what are the other sources of drinking water? Other sources that depends on your locality where you are living. It may be the groundwater, it may be the pond or lake water, whichever available for you, you can mention there. And the S2 exercise from block 16 had given a story about River Yamuna. You read the complete story and understand the meaning of it. Based on this uh, paragraph, the questions are given below. So this is all about River Yamuna, the story of River Yamuna, from where does it took birth and through which cities it is flowing and where it mixes with the other river and finally where it goes. This all given very clearly, and how the river Yamuna is getting polluted also explained in the paragraph, and what we are supposed to do also given very clearly in this paragraph. So nicely understand, read this paragraph twice and make it clear, and then come for the question answers which are given below. The first one is, what do you think flows with the river water into the sea? What do you think flows with river water into the sea? So finally, all the rivers will go and join in the sea. So along with this river water, when the river water is flowing through the different cities, the different pollutants are mixing in that. So the rivers are carrying the same pollutants into the sea. So in the sea, there are different aquatic animals. Different animals are living. So they are getting harm due to these pollutants. They are using that water and it's threatening their life. So the river water carrying pollutants into the sea. That's the answer you are supposed to write as first answer. And the second one is complete the table using the information from the story above. What pollutants are in the Yamuna? So if you see, there are different pollutants, factory outlets, wastewater from the factory, and the people are throwing the water, people, picnickers are throwing the packets, wrappers, everything into the water, and the rituals, traditionals, and our festivals are also making the water dirty. So you find out the different regions from the paragraph which is given above and right here. Where did the pollutants come from? From where the pollutants are coming? Just now I told you, from the factories pollutants are coming, from the wind pollutants are coming, from the picnickers pollutants are coming, and also from the human beings. Most of the places human beings are making the water dirty, and from the farmers pesticides, from the pesticides the pollutants are entering into the water. So from all of this, any 3, 4 you choose from the paragraph and write here. And the last one, if there was a river flowing through your city, what can you do, you and your friends do to keep it clean? So if a river is there in your city that's flowing through your city, how can you keep your river clean? Very simple. You must not throw any packets. You must not litter the surroundings of the river. And you should not allow the people to do that. And whatever comes in your mind, that also you can write there. So it's very important not only for as a lesson and to get the marks, it's also very important to understand and follow in future so that the clean water makes the people healthy, so that our nation will be healthy. Understood, children? So once again, we'll recapitulate what you learned today. You're collecting different samples and comparing these samples, and you also understanding, we also learned about the birth of river Yamuna and through which cities it's flowing, and how river Yamuna is getting polluted and what we are supposed to do to reduce the water pollution in rivers like Yamuna and Ganga. Very good. So then you are able to write now page 40 and 41 answer.